Hey guys, so I posted this makeup look on Instagram the other day and I got a lot of requests asking me to film it. So that's what this video is going to be. It's just a brown smoky eye, pretty basic, pretty simple. So I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about what's been going on with me lately. So as y'all know, I go to school down here in Kingsville, and about a week ago a hurricane came through, and the actual eye of the hurricane came through Corpus Christi, which is about 30 minutes away from Kingsville. So I ended up leaving my apartment and going back to Houston, which at the time seemed like a good idea. I went back to Houston with my family and ended up getting flooded in because Houston was on the bad side of the storm. And so I ended up getting flooded into my neighborhood. I couldn't leave, I couldn't get out of town. Once my neighborhood actually did get better and the flooding went away in my neighborhood, I actually couldn't leave town because I was flooded into my town. I went down the main road in town and got about 10 minutes down the road, expecting to get all the way back to Kingsville. I only got about 10 minutes down the road and had to turn back. So I ended up being in Houston for about a week and a half and missed school and all kinds of stuff. So I'm just now feeling like I'm actually getting my life back together. I'm back in school. Everything's good at my apartment. I didn't have any damage. Kingsville actually didn't have any problems at all. There was minor flooding and like branches down every now and then, but nothing like really big. So while I was at home, I didn't have my camera. I didn't have, I only had a little bit of makeup, that like the really expensive stuff that I thought that I didn't want to replace if something happened. And so like I wasn't able to film, and so that's pretty much why I've been gone for so long. But I'm back and I feel like I'm getting my stuff together, and so yeah, so that's what's been going on with me for the past couple of weeks. Yeah, so if you want to see this makeup look, just keep watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and let's get started.
Hey guys, so to start off, I am priming my eyes using the Urban Decay primer. It's the one in the little purple tube. I don't have it with me, so I can't remember the exact name of it. But I'm just putting that all over my eyes. And then I'm taking the lightest orange shade up at the top corner, and I'm going to use that shade just to set down the primer so we don't have any skipping when we go in with our first shade. For the transition color, I'm taking the top two orange shades and I'm mixing them together on a big fluffy blending brush, and I am just buffing that into my crease. It's kind of a bright orange, so I make sure to tap off the excess and build it up slowly, but it is very pretty if you build it up slowly. Next, I took this almost cool toned brown on a slightly smaller blending brush, and I'm focusing it lower than the orange shade, but not onto my eyelid, still keeping it in the crease. And I'm going through with like windshield wiper motions at first, and then I start to use circular motions, and that's what gives it that smoky eye effect. On a crease brush, I took the reddish brown shade in the palette and I focused this into my crease. So I placed my brush on the outer part of my eye where I want most of the color to focus, and I put that on there, and then I slowly start blending it using windshield wiper motions into the inner corner of my crease. And using that reddish brown shade can get kind of intense fast. So what I did was I just took the fluffy blending brush that we used on with the first transition shade, and I just took that. I didn't put any additional product on it, but I just took that same brush and blended and blended and blended until I was happy with the way it looked and with the intensity of the shadow. Using this deep brown shade, I took my brush and I just dipped the very tip of my brush into the shade, and I stamped the shadow on the outer third of my eyelid. And then once I got most of the product onto the outer third of my eyelid, I started blending it into my crease. With a flat shader brush, I took this beautiful metallic brown and then I sprayed it with a little bit of Fix Plus just to make it that much more intense. I packed that onto the inner 2/3 of my eyelid. And with the same brush that we just used, I'm just blending that out and making sure there's not like a stiff line between the metallic shade and that dark brown shade. I primed my face using the Too Faced Hangover RX Primer, and I am using the Too Faced Born This Way foundation, and I am blending that in with the Morphe Red Beauty Blender. I don't know what they call it, but it's really funny shaped, but it's got like a really good flat bottom on it. I really like it. It's nice and it's pretty affordable.
I had to try to break a habit. I changed my mind. Now I can have it. Make me feel alive.
I am using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, and I'm actually using two different shades. I'm putting light warm mostly underneath my eyes, and then I go in and like dot light neutral, and then blend that together using a beauty blender. This is also the Morphe Beauty Blender, but it is not the same one that I used on my foundation. I tried to use that one for concealer, but I couldn't get it to like come to a real good point to get right underneath my eyes and right in that tear duct. So I used the one that's for like baking. It's got like a flat edge on the bottom of it, and then it comes to a point at the other end like a beauty blender. But I put concealer on my chin, my nose, and my forehead just to highlight those areas as well. To set my concealer, I used the Wet n Wild Duo in Dulce de Leche, and I just patted that on underneath my eyes and everywhere else that I put concealer. Off camera, I applied the PUR Cosmetics Fully Charged Magnetic Mascara. And now I am using the Milani Bronzer XL, and I'm just swirling my brush in both of the shades and bronzing up my skin with it. So I put it underneath my cheekbones and on my forehead just a bit, just to bronze up the skin and make my forehead look a little bit smaller. For blush, I used the e.l.f. Quad. I don't think it has a name, but I used this nice peachy color just to put a little bit of color on my cheeks. But as you can see, my face is naturally pretty red, so I don't like to put anything too vibrant on my cheeks because that natural redness shows through anyways. So I love Becca Cosmetics, and I wish that I could buy like one of everything, but it's pretty expensive. So I found this little duo at Ulta, and it's basically just a little baby sample of the pressed highlighter, and it also came with a small tube of the liquid highlighter. So this is the pressed highlighter in the shade Opal. Jumping back into the eyes, I'm using the lightest orange shade that we used as a transition shade. I'm only using the light shade. I'm not using both of them. Buffing this underneath my eyes just to give it a little bit of a pop of orange like we have up top, but not like super shock value. And then with that same brush, I'm using the Cool Tone Brown, and I'm doing the same exact thing, just buffing that underneath my eyes and from inner corner to outer corner. On a teeny tiny pencil brush, I am taking that red brown shade and I am literally just touching it to the outer corner of my lower lash line. For eyeliner, I used the Colourpop X Kathleenlights. It's called Mr. Bing. I then coated my lower lash line with the same mascara, and for lips I used the Tarte Cosmetics Quick Dry Matte Lip Paint in the shade Homeslice. This is my favorite nude shade. And that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.